guys, so welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to tell you about 7th Lord placement in demon chart through houses. But before we get started, please subscribe my channel and follow me on Instagram so that we can stay connected, and you can also take my personal consultation by checking the link below. So without wasting time, let's start this video. So first of all, 7th house is very important to study if you are studying about marriage, if you are studying about relationships. Before studying D1 chart 7th house, we cannot proceed towards D9 chart. Okay, because 7th house of D1 chart is going to tell you about the relationship issues you are going to face at first. D9 chart tells about the married life later you are going to have, okay, and the in-laws and other things. And like I told you that it is the microscopic view of D1 chart, okay. So it is important to study D1 chart as well as D9 chart. I will make a separate video on D9 chart. So firstly, Darkarka and 7th Lord are very different, because Darkarka tells about the conduct of your partner in marriage. It also tells about the profession of your spouse. It also tells about the looks of your spouse and the behavior of your spouse, basically towards you and in the marriage. It also tells if your marriage is going to be romantic or not, and also many things about our spouse. And 7th house also tells many things, but 7th house is very basic. 7th house basically tells about the relationships issues you may face, and about your partner, general characteristic of your partner. Darkarka tells about what kind of behavior your spouse carries towards you or towards the marriage. Okay, your spouse may be quite funny in front of other people, but in front of you, your spouse may be very serious. Okay, so these things need to be considered while telling if your spouse is gonna be, what kind of behavior your spouse is gonna carry. Okay, so this is the thing. And also, if your 7th Lord goes retrograde, it shows that you have in your past life you have ignored your partner. You were not serious in the relationship. You ignored your partner, and also you were not serious in the relationship. You ignored your partner, and your partner demanded love from you, demanded your attention, but you were not present. Okay. Also, if Rahu somewhere gets involved, it also shows in your past life you had cheated on your partner. So in D60 chart that whenever Rahu and Venus are together, it shows in your past life you had multiple relationships, you cheated on your partner, and you were highly sexual as well. Okay, so these are some things that we can know. D60 chart will accurately tell you about your past life karma, okay. It will not be really hard to know. The placements of planets will tell you about and you have to read it as your birth chart only, and it will also tell you how you died. Okay, so if you know basic astrology, you will be able to decode like what were your karma in your past life. Okay, a clear picture of the karma. Like Venus Rahu conjunction, like if Saturn debilitated, it shows you were highly egoist, you didn't respect servants, you made fun of poor people or old people. This is the way we can know about our karmas from D60 chart. So retrograde 7th Lord will also make you too much concerned about relationships. Okay, so retrograde 7th Lord basically tells that you were very much relaxed about relationships. Okay, you didn't care about relationships. In this life, you will be highly concerned about your spouse, very careful about your spouse. You will never want to cheat your spouse, okay, because you have understood that you were not right in the past life. When the soul goes to the spirit world, other angels show the life that we have lived and also ask us like look at your karmas and tell me, were you right? And you as a soul will say that I know I'm not right, I know I did wrong, and I want to pay off my debt, I want to do right, I want to learn. So that's why, okay? Even the planets we are getting retrograde is because of our karma and our choice, because we had the choice to pay off that karma, okay? So this is the thing. If you're facing relationship issues, it was your karma or your choice because you need a relationship in your life. If you had taken the path of spirituality, you would have not suffered and that karma like would have been completed. Okay, so this is the thing. Now coming back to the topic. So seventh lord in first house, it says that in your past life you and your spouse were really close to each other. Maybe you both were friends or knew each other. In this life, when you will meet your spouse, you will feel like I have known this person for a very long time. It is not the first time I'm meeting my spouse, okay? And also highly possible that your spouse may be of the same country or the same place as you belong to, okay? And your spouse will be highly influenced by you. You will be highly influenced by your spouse. Both of you will be highly influenced by each other and will also love each other very much. Okay, it's a kind of soulmate relationship where both the partners are very much connected to each other. Okay, if malefic planets are ruling your seventh house, it may cause some disturbance or some kind of fights or misunderstanding because it's your past life karma. Okay, so this is the thing. But no matter what, seventh lord aspecting its own house will always support. So your spouse will try his best to support a relationship and to be in the relationship, okay? Now, if you have seventh lord in second house, it shows your spouse may have some karmic connection with your family, will bring wealth in your life. Because of your spouse, your wealth will increase, and also your spouse may have a good bonding with your family if it is not Saturn and Mars. If it is Mars or Saturn are there, it may create some disturbance, misunderstanding, or difference of opinions between your family and your spouse, and some issues in the family. If it is well placed, it's alright, but it also shows that if Mars is there, your spouse will be highly protective to your family. Okay, just like your spouse may consider your family as his family also, because of past life karmic connection your spouse is having with your family. Maybe in your past life your parents were your spouse's parents. I have seen many past life cases like this, where the spouse was daughter or son of the family of the spouse at this life, of their in-laws. Okay, now it shows that your spouse will be family oriented. After marriage, your life will change drastically, and also your spouse may increase wealth and savings. Okay, the wealth of your spouse will come to you, and your spouse may love shopping, eating, trying different kinds of food, and trying luxuries if it's specifically it is Venus. Mercury, a good communication, okay? A very beautiful childish relationship between your family and spouse's family, okay? So this is a thing. So every planet has its own significance in this scenario, okay? Now, if your seventh lord sits in third house, it shows that your spouse will be very communicative You and your spouse may meet through any online social media or any app, like nowadays it is really common, or through siblings, or through while pursuing any hobby, or through friend circle. Okay, it is highly possible your spouse is your friend. Okay, it can also give you love marriage and communicative spouse, but according to Pavan concept, third house is 8 from 8, so it shows after marriage your spouse's destiny will rise, but you will have to face some issues because third house is considered trick house, and it is not really auspicious house. Even for Jupiter, it is not considered auspicious house, and Jupiter is not able to give good results basically here. So we need to take all these things into consideration. Okay, and basically, as it's if Jupiter is seventh lord is aspecting seventh house, it's quite good. But Jupiter will start giving good results after a certain age. Okay, marriage may happen really late in life because it is showing that in your past life you did not do a lot of efforts to be in a relationship. Okay, you took it for granted, and you thought that if my parents will find a spouse for me, I would marry, and you were not really serious because third house is also the house of children, or about playful house. It's a Gemini house. Okay, so that's why you were too much carefree about marriage in past life. So in this life, you have to become more stable or more concerned about relationships. Okay, and it also shows that you will have to put efforts to find your partner. Your partner will not put efforts, you will put efforts. Okay, and destiny of your spouse may rise after marriage. Okay, so this is the thing. And if Venus is there, it will also make you flirty, and your spouse can be also a bit of flirty. I have seen this, and that's why I'm telling this thing. Now, if it is fourth house, then your spouse will bring luxuries and wealth and a big home, comforts, and you will feel like mother when you're with your spouse. It is also possible that in some of your past life, your spouse was your mother, and I have seen so many cases like this. Souls are connected to each other not by relationships but only by the connection of soul. So they change relationships to learn different things. Okay, so that's why I am saying this thing, that can be your mother or someone with whom you really felt comfortable. It is not necessary that your spouse in this life be your spouse in previous life. Okay, it is really not necessary. Okay, can be anyone you are connected to. In one case, I saw that one lady, she saw that her husband in this life was her mother-in-law in previous life. So mother-in-law has become husband. So you see how the relationship changes. And one girl, she got next life regression therapy. She saw that her father in this life, who is no more, will become her husband in next life. And her pets, she had dogs. She saw that her dogs are her children in next life. So relationships changes this way. Okay, soul has no relationship, and we just change our role. We are playing a role over here. Okay, we're just characters, and this is the stage. Like I'm playing the role of an astrologer or healer, and of a communicator, a YouTuber in this life. Same way you are playing a different type of role, okay? So it shows this thing. Yours it is a good karma because fourth house is really good, and your spouse will be very much connected to your mother as well. If it is not a malefic planet, okay, if it is malefic Saturn or Mars, it may really create obstructions or really trouble in the relationship with your mother, with your family. Also, after marriage, you may have to travel to other place, to foreign lands. Okay, now the fifth house then shows a playful relationship with your partner. It shows that maybe in your past life, your spouse can be your child or your lover or your partner in past life, and it shows a beautiful relationship with your spouse where you both love education, where you both love creativity, you both love sharing ideas and enjoying the life. Okay, and sign also does matter. Also, you need to see the sign as well. If suppose your moon is your seventh lord is sitting in fifth house and Libra sign, so it shows highly emotional relationship. You and your spouse were really emotionally connected in past life. You both will love to have children. You both will love to enjoy the life, and luck will also rise after marriage. Okay, it's a good placement. It also shows love marriage. If sixth house, then the thing is, then a really 100% sure you have done really bad to your spouse in past life, and this life you will have to serve your spouse. Okay, your spouse, you made your spouse your enemy in past life. This life your spouse is coming to take the debt. Maybe your spouse is a person from whom you took a certain debt and you did not return that debt, and that person is coming as your spouse to take that debt from you. Okay, there are high chances of that. That's why if you take something from anyone, then just return it. Okay, never cheat or fool anyone, because we don't know that in next birth we'll have to pay it off. Okay, you will have to serve your spouse. If retrograde planet sits here, then 100% you have done bad to your spouse. Now, if seventh lord is in seventh house, it shows that your spouse will be too much into himself or herself. Okay, you both will be very different from each other, not really the same. You will both have to adjust together, and your spouse will not come to you. You will have to go to your spouse. Your spouse can be from other place as well. Here it is a good placement because it will protect the relationship no matter which planet is here, but every planet is going to protect his or her own house. If Venus, Mercury, or Moon are here, then it may create some issues, because Venus and Mercury do not really do well in seventh house. Okay, it may make the spouse really flirty, and it may make the spouse a bit of having a lot of friendships with opposite sex people. Okay, if Saturn is here, it's really good because it will give long-lasting marriage and matured spouse. If Mars is here, you and your spouse will consider each other as competitors. Okay, now if you see it by the past life aspect, it shows that in your past life, you and your spouse were high chances you and your spouse were into this love relationship or into marriage. Okay, and it is not really bad placement. You just need to see which planet is ruling to tell accurately. Okay, so this is the thing. And if seventh lord is placed in eighth house, it shows that you have left marriage incomplete in past life. You died early. Okay, and you were not able to complete or live or enjoy the life of marriage. So in this life, you will have the desire to enjoy the life. Also, it will create a fear in your heart about marriage. Okay, basically Saturn and Moon, they will create fear, maybe because of the bad experience you may have gained in the past lives. Okay, it also shows you will get wealth from your spouse. Wealth of your spouse will come to you, wealthy spouse. Okay, and sudden transformations in relationships, some kind of relationship issues you may face. Now, if it is ninth house, so wow, it's a great placement. Rise of destiny after marriage. Okay, and a good placement, a good spouse. You may find a spouse so far away from your homeland, and high chances of love marriage or marrying a foreigner. Okay, you may have to travel to meet your partner, and after your partner will come, your destiny will automatically rise. Okay, so this is the thing. You and your spouse have a good karmic connection. You and your spouse will love each other and help each other. Okay, your spouse will also be interested to study in education, in higher studies, philosophy, and all. If it is in 10th house, then it shows that you and your spouse were related because of work in past life. It is not a bad placement, not at all. It is a good placement, or I would say a neutral placement, depending upon the planet. Okay, so basically, it shows that in your past life, you and your spouse were related to work or too much into work. You can meet your spouse in this life in your workplace. Okay, and also your spouse will workaholic, will be practical depending upon the sign and the planets. Okay, as it's the fourth house from a partner's chart, your spouse may be working from home. Your spouse will want to have comforts in life and enjoy life. Okay, and your spouse will also have a great interest in working because it's aspecting the 10th house for your spouse. Okay, and after marriage, your work will also get better. You will get more career opportunities, and you will get a rise in your career. If it is in 11th house, so wow, it is great. You will get a wealthy spouse. If your spouse will not be also wealthy, but after marriage, you will gain wealth. Okay, you and your spouse will gain wealth. It is a good karma from your past life. It shows that in past life you have given some money to your spouse or done really well to your spouse. This life your spouse is coming to pay you off for whatever you did to them in past lives. You will get a good spouse. Your spouse will be interested in networking, online business, or social media business and all, and communicator. And if it is Pisces, it shows a spiritual relationship. You and your spouse are spiritually connected. In past life, you would have some kind of spiritual things in the life, depending upon the planet. Okay, if Mercury is debilitated here, it shows that you and your spouse were a kind of siblings in one of their life, and you had some karmic issues together. That's why this life are coming to get to solve that issue. In this life also you may face the detachment or feel lost to find the partner. Okay, so these are some things that I wanted to share with you. Pisces partner will give you a good spouse, someone who is really understanding, someone who is well behaved, well mannered, someone who is always charming, someone who is not affected by stupid things, materialistic things in life, someone who has the ability to make people happy, to make people laugh, to make people enjoy. Okay, someone who loves to get lost in his own world. These are the things. I hope you enjoyed the video. This video is too long. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.